Hi everyone. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the Pandas libraries in detail. So my part one, I have explained you guys to what exactly the Pandas and what is that the powerful things which is available and the basic components of Pandas like the series and data frame. Okay, right. So now we'll discuss the rest of the things. So definitely it will right. So let me go into this specific, right? Okay. So here, what I'm doing, I'm creating a simple data frame with 4 columns, right? And values as well. So I'm creating 4 different lists. That is nothing but my employee employee number, and employee name, salary, and designation, right? So after that, I'm making all these list items going to be a series, right? Once this becomes series, now you know how to make that series to data frame. And so here I'm making as a simple dictionary as a key and value representation. And then I'm passing that the specific dictionary into by data frame methods parameter as a parameter. So once it's done, then we able to get the specific the tabular column data. All right. Right. Now I'm going to play around with this data set. Let's see a few great examples. Okay. So the first one is going to be like a pd.data frame of df column, and I'm going to highlight like what are the columns I want to extract. So guys, actually here I'm not creating any object for my data frame. Straight away, I'm using a pd.data frame and my dictionary and column and specific, right? So this is like little bit like the tedious process. So generally we never use that in my real-time scenario. So that, for example, like just for understanding point of view, so just I'm showing this one. So the rest of the examples will directly play out with data frame. Right? Okay, cool. So here I'm mentioning what exactly the employee name as well as salary. So selected columns from the data frame along with the rows. So when I'm mentioning my employee name and salary, I'm able to get 2 columns along with their values, right? So now I'm going to play around with my object. That is only my data frame object. So guys, actually here I created data frame object, you know very well. Now I'm going to find out what are the columns that are available within this data frame, right? So it's a simple command, employee dot columns. So as I mentioned in my previous video, when I put like dot slash tab, so you can get all the methods, attributes which pertaining with this um, data frame object, right? So there are so many things on that. Okay, so certainly anybody cannot like explore all the things. It's not necessary as well. So just you leave that. So when I execute this statement, so I used to get the list of columns available in my data frame. So this is actually already we only created, right? So that we know that what are exactly columns available in this data set. So it makes sense. So if you're going to import some files and you want to understand what are the different columns available in this specific data frame, it could be a CSV file or a JSON file or XML, or sometime from directly from SQL Server. So it has some table names. So if you want to do the analysis process, so you can execute this command, you can find out what exactly columns in the data set. That's fine. So now we are going to access the individual column with values. So here just I'm mentioning employee of my the data frame dot employee name with imports. So I'm able to get all the names which are available in my guys. Actually, is a very important thing. The Python is a case sensitive. Make sure that you are passing correct the column name. So that's why actually we need to get all this column name prior to execute all the commands so that it will be easy to copy and paste that column name in relevant space wherever you want. You can extract the data, you can proceed on. Okay. And the second thing, actually, I'm going to extract the multiple columns like employee name and salary. So what I'm doing, like comma separated by comma within the array, right? So this array is going to be my inside. So I'm passing these values, employee name as well as salary. So my data frame will extract that only the employee number and salary. Yeah, separate data frame. So you can store it in some other object and you can play around with that as well. Okay, so that is like, so we'll show that all the examples later, right? So next one, and accessing the column from data frame attributes. So guys, actually this one actually, so here just I'm mentioning the data frame and what are the columns I need and put it inside the brackets, and the other way around, right? You can find out like employee top. It's nothing but so how we are accessing the properties, object and property values is similar to that object and values in OOPS concept. They're going to like kind of like what is that, like GUI concept tools and all. If you have like VB.NET or Java, something like that. So if you are mentioning the components name dot, you need to give all the attributes similar to that. So the employee dot employee name, right? So that I'm getting these are all the names from my data set. So the simple command. And the other one, selecting a specific column from the data frame and store into a new data frame. As I mentioned earlier, it's very simple. So here I'm mentioning like PD data frame, df of column, blah 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 blah. So something. So here, let's look at this one. So I will talk about this later, a little bit later. So employee number, name, salary, and designation and location, and store it in the new column called employee underscore new. So what are the values available in my the previous data frame here in above example? So this one, right, isn't it? So from this data frame, I'm assigning all this to my new data frame along with one more column, right? So already have all the values because we have created 4 different lists and series and assigned those things into my dictionary, and I got these all the values. So here, if you look at the specific location, everything's in null, right? None value. So because just now I created no values for this one. So we can add the values as well. So it's not a big deal. So we'll see how we are going to add all those things, right? So here again, I'm doing employee underscore new dot columns. So I'm getting all the columns. Nothing big deal. Already be able to see from this statement. Correct? Right. Now I'm printing the value of this one, and so I'm getting a new data frame with all these values. Okay, good. So here I'm going to update. I'm going to update the location as a Chennai across all the rows, right? So simple statement, employee underscore new location is equal to within rows Chennai. What will happen? So everything, all the rows are going to be updated as a Chennai for my data frame. So as of now, it's like here till here it's going to be a none because just we added the column, it's value, but here just I'm assigning the value location is equal to Chennai. So across all the data set, it's going to be Chennai. Filter based conditions like where conditions in when you're doing update statement, DML statement in your uh, SQL. So if you're going to update with the where condition, yes, we can do it here as well. I show that one. Okay. So so once we did that, so once you try to execute the statement, so you get all the values. So the location is now not none values, now it's Chennai. Okay. So this is basically to extract these values to what is that, to update the values the additional column. Correct. So now we are jumping into the main concept which is called slicing and dicing. Okay, that's a very important thing. So I'm stopping my video here because it needs to be at least a 10 to 15 minutes video so that we won't get bored. So the slicing and dicing is going to be my next video so that you can understand what exactly how you can play around with that one. Okay. So please leave your comments and do subscribe and share with your friends. Those are interested in this new domain, data science and machine learning AI. Look at it in AI point of view, so that it's going to be the journey is going to take you guys to AI, and even like we are going to discuss several things about like how we are going to implement in the cloud space, like in Azure environment, how we are going to implement all these things planning to demonstrate everything for you guys. Okay, so I'm stopping here. So we'll catch up with the next video, and the topic is going to be slice and dicing in Pandas, right? Okay, thank you guys.